As we enter Tisha B'Av, there are a few questions that we may want to contemplate. One question that we might ask ourselves is that we know that Tisha B'Av is referred to as a moed. And moed is a word that usually has a connotation of a chag. What about Tisha B'Av is a moed? Another question we might want to ask is that most of the moedim have something tangible that we connect to in order to appreciate and get into the theme of the chag. Whether it's Pesach with matzah, Sukkot with a lulav and a sukkah, Rosh Hashanah with a shofar. What is the tangible aspect, or the prop, if you want to call it such, that we can connect to that will help us understand and internalize the message of Tisha B'Av? The third question is on a more, you might want to call it a more emotional, psychological level. We live in a very heavy world with many things that make us sad, that bring us to a low place. Generally speaking, our mahalach all year round is one of ivdu et Hashem b'simcha. Even with difficulty, we try to rise above negative thoughts and sad thoughts and focus on the positive, appreciating Hashem, appreciating everything we have in life, and being happy. And yet, when Tisha B'Av comes, we're told to not distract ourselves from negative thoughts and to bring ourselves to a low and an unhappy place. How does this work with the general balance of everything that we're trying to do all year round? So I'd like to take a few minutes just to answer these questions. The first question about Tisha B'Av being referred to as a moed. A moed is a time when a person, and Klal Yisrael in general, evaluates and connects to Hashem. Usually, we celebrate moedim through happy connection to Hashem. Tisha B'Av is a time of evaluation of my connection to Hashem, even if the result of that evaluation is that I'm further than I want to be. It's nevertheless referred to as a moed, and Rav Wolbe Zatzal refers to it as a moed of richuk, because bechol zot, in the moed, it's better to evaluate and to come to a conclusion that I'm too distant than to be apathetic and not think about the relationship at all. The question that we asked about what is the tangible aspect of the props that connect me to this moed, very interestingly, Rav Shimshon Pinkus says that the prop of Tisha B'Av are tears. The Gemara in Chagiga says that Hashem cried on Tisha B'Av, and Hashem always cries for our tsar. On Tisha B'Av and on Yemei Tzom in general, we return this aspect of the relationship by crying for tsar hashchina. And our tears are the tangible aspect that connect us and make us feel that we can internalize the message of the chag, of the moed. For the last question, I'd like to bring a mashal. All year round, we're happy, we look at the positive, we reframe cognitively to see the good. And on Tisha B'Av, we're requested to understand the sadness and contemplate the sadness in the world. The mashal would be one of a woman who had a very special husband, who was on a very high level, intellectually, spiritually, physically, a very high-functioning person, who has a stroke. And he becomes, unfortunately, a person who cannot do anything, lies in bed, can barely talk, doesn't have ideas. And through rehab, through rehabilitation, he gains back the ability to say hello, to move his finger. All day long, the entire staff of the therapist, with the wife as well, are cheering him on and happy and excited about all the progression. But when all the therapists go home and she sits late at night and remembers her husband, who was such a high-functioning person, she sits and cries. This is the message of Tisha B'Av. All year round, we look for the good in the world, and we celebrate everything good around us to encourage us to improve and to live life well. But once a year, we have to be like the woman who remembers what it used to be like, and she feels the tsar of what is no longer. This is the message of Tisha B'Av. And my bracha to all of us is that we are zocha to be mekayim the Gemara in Tanis Lamed, which says, Kol ha'mis'abel al Yerushalayim zoche v'ro'eh bebinyana. The question is, why not yiske, he will see, but rather zoche, that he already is zoche. Because if we could reach a place where we feel the sadness of what should be and what isn't, and we have an intense desire for Beat HaMashiach, then we can already feel the taste of the Geula. And that is the purpose of Tisha B'Av. Thank you.